3700 BCE, Lothal, one of the world's earliest docks, the advanced ancient Acropolis. Certainly, a gem of Indus Valley civilization, attracted the ancient cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro.
Hey everybody, welcome to Studio 64. My name's David. I've been searching the interzones for more science, space and tech news to share with you. I came across this over at Archaeo News. This is really interesting. News studies confirm that there was indeed a shipyard at Lothal, the commercial centre of the Harappan civilization and world's oldest port. Absolutely amazing. Love me a bit of archaeology. This is awesome. Yes, now since the discovery of Harappan sites at Lothal, located about 30 kilometres inland from the coast of the Gulf of Khumbat in Gujarat, India in the 1950s, archaeologists have been divided on whether a dockyard existed at the location during the Indus Valley civilization. You'll have to excuse me, India, if I mispronounce some of these locations. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And as usual, I will leave the link to the main article below the video so you can pop in, check out the embedded links, go for a bit of a deeper dive if you want. Makes for an interesting read, believe me. Now, this may now change as a new study by the Indian Institute of Technology, Gandhinagar, has found fresh evidence that can confirm the dockyard's existence. This pioneering research reveals fresh insights into how the region's hydrography shaped ancient trade and cultural interactions. One thing I love about the Indians, they're very understated. You know, the Americans talk about their this technology and that technology, the Russians boast, the Chinese boast, you know, we're all going to the moon. And then meanwhile, India in the background actually does go to the moon. You know what I mean? Like with their space probes, you know, like everyone else is busy boasting and the Indians are just sitting in the background, and while everyone else is talking, they go and do it. Yes, gotta love Indians. Fascinating. Harappan civilization, also known as the Indus Valley civilization or Indus civilization, is the earliest known urban culture of the Indian subcontinent. The dates of the civilization appear to be about 2500 to 1700 BCE, although the southern sites may have lasted later into the second millennium BCE. Now, among the world's three earliest civilizations, the other two are those of Mesopotamia and Egypt. The Indus civilization was the most extensive. Interesting. As I say, I'm not a scientist myself. I just love all science, space and tech news, and I love sharing this with people because it's fantastic to learn. And as I say, if there are any archaeologists out there, please feel free to comment below because we'd love to hear from you. It'd be fantastic. As an anomaly in the overall pattern of Harappan settlement, Lothal is situated in the southernmost part of this civilization. Around 2500 BCE, it is thought that indigenous groups of craftsmen and traders with strong ties to the Sindh and Kachich regions, again, apologies for mispronunciation, regions started to occupy Lothal. The Harappans occupied Lothal over the course of the following 2 or 3 centuries, building a planned settlement with new industries and increased trade. Interesting. Also, Lothal is best known for its well-preserved brick dock and its warehouse, though the hypothesis that this structure served as a dockyard has been the subject of debate in the archaeological literature. Artifacts of foreign origin found in Lothal confirm its intercultural trade relationships with other civilizations. That's interesting. The site of the dockyard at Lothal in Gujarat during the Harappan or Indus Valley civilization. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, owing to its closeness to valuable resources like Amazonite, steatite, carnelian, copper, and shells, Lothal played a significant role as a trading hub for the vast Indo-Sarasvati plains. It was also a major hub for the exports of cotton goods, stone beads, and ivory. The evidence of Harappan pottery, seals, weights, and decorated carnelian beads in Mesopotamia, the Persian Gulf Coast, and Elam suggests that its trade connections were not restricted to the Indus region. Now, Harappan artifacts have been discovered at a number of coastal settlements around the Persian Gulf. Additionally, a number of Harappan artisanal production centres and habitation sites along the vast coastline, which stretches from the Makran coast in Pakistan near the Iranian border to Lothal in the Gulf of Cumberland, support the maritime trade activities of Lothal. Absolutely amazing. Approximately 222 metres long, 37 metres wide and 4 metres deep, a sizable trapezoidal basin of baked bricks is found in Lothal's eastern region. The existence of an inlet and outlet channel, a 240-metre wide mud brick platform on the western edge to facilitate cargo handling, and the presence of a warehouse close to this structure are some of the features that lend credence to the dockyard theory. Now, this hypothesis, however, has been the subject of a debate among scholars. Despite this evidence, some scholars' alternative theories have been proposed to consider the structure as a water reservoir for irrigation and human consumption. The study has revealed that the Sabaramati River used to flow by Lothal. Currently, it flows 20 kilometres away from the location during the Harappan civilization. There was also a travel route connecting Ahmedabad, again, apologies for mispronunciation, through Lothal, the Nal Saravar wetland, and the Little Ran to Dol Avira, another Harappan site, according to analysis. That's interesting. Yeah. And that is reconstruction of the original course of the river through Lothal. Okay. Interesting. Now, we've got a little bit of a video here that'll give us some more background on this dock and the site. It's going to be very interesting. Let's check it out, and we'll carry on the conversation when we come out the other side.
The Indian subcontinent has a long coastline of 7,500 kilometers, 9 maritime states, 2 union territories and 2 island territories. It also has 13 major ports and large number of state ports. However, most significantly, did you know that India also has the oldest port town of the ancient Harappan civilization and the first man-made dockyard of the ancient world? This oldest Harappan port town was discovered here in Lothal at the head of Gulf of Cambay, Gujarat, way back in 1954 by a famous archaeologist S.R. Rao. Both literary and archaeological evidence suggests that Harappans had active trade contacts both inland and with the outside world. Excavated culture material throughout the Harappan cultural zones, seals, clay models of boats and stone anchors amply testify to this fact. The dockyard of ancient times, as seen here, was a massive brick wall structure enclosing a trapezoid basin and is the largest burnt brick construction ever made by the Harappans. Its western embankment is 716 feet, the eastern is 705.6 inches and the northern is 123 feet and the southern 117 feet in length. The width of the wall is 6 feet at the foundation level in the case of the western arm and 5 feet in other cases. The inner face of the embankment is absolutely vertical on all sides with a depth of 14 feet without any sort of steps or ramp to reach the fluctuating water level. On the other hand, the outer faces have 3 offsets in the case of the western wall and 2 in other walls to counteract the thrust of the wall in such a vast basin. Adjoining the dock on the western side was a wharf 800 feet long for loading, unloading boats and ships, a substructure of mud bricks consisting of 12 blocks each 12 feet square and separated by channels or air ducts 3.5 feet wide were the well-ventilated warehouses near the citadel, the large structure on the Acropolis. The very fact that the warehouse was located within the Acropolis showed the concentration of economic power in the hands of the ruler. Lothal had an organized trade on a uniform pattern and effective enforcement of trade regulations. The haulage of goods in the warehouse and the movement of ships in the dockyard took place under the supervision of the ruler. A significant contribution made by Lothal is that it has adduced evidence, sealings, to show the use of seals on packages wrapped in cloth and covered with bamboo strips of reed. Whether the cloth was made of jute, cotton or flax is not known. The bulk of the sealings were in fact found in the passage of the warehouse. Evidence from seals indicate that sometimes an individual exported goods by himself or in collaboration with others who also fixed their seals on the packages. The dock was constructed in circa 2350 BC and continued to be in good use up to 2000 BC, when a great flood caused heavy breaches in the walls, which were repaired. Finally, the flood in 1900 BC was of such long duration and great intensity that the entire dock was destroyed along with the township. The damage was very extensive, but no effort was made to commission the dock once again, either by desilting or rebuilding the damaged walls. Ships have to enter and leave the basin at high tide, when the water level was maintained sufficiently high above the inlet sill. The easy flow of water at the high tide ensured that desilting of the basin. We may therefore affirm, on the basis of studies made regarding Lothal, that this dock was purely tidal, and Lothal engineers had possessed a knowledge of the tidal effects, the amplitude, erosion and thrust. From this knowledge they developed a competence at Lothal for receiving ships at high tide and ensuring flotation of ships inside the dock at low tide. This dock, in the words of Mortimer Wheeler, was a wholly unusual and complete presentation of Harappan life on its seaward fringe round about the end of the 3rd millennium. Visitors are advised to visit the archaeological site just 2 kilometers away from here to gain a better insight of the first man-made dockyard of the ancient Harappan civilization.
Well, that was really interesting, wasn't it? I love that sort of stuff to give us a bit more background on it. I just think it's amazing, not surprising, but amazing, absolutely blows me away. And now you see where Indians now, with their construction techniques and their engineering, are able to do things like, land probes on the moon and things like that. Interesting. Obviously, the modern aerospace engineers of the spiritual descendants, if you could say, in a lot of ways, of the and the physical descendants too of the civil engineers from the Lothal region. Absolutely fantastic. Satellite images have unveiled the old channels of the river Sabarmati, suggesting Lothal's key location on a significant river route linked to Koth, a village in Ahmedabad. There we are. There's Koth right there. And there's Lothal, so it's just up from there on the river. And other resource-rich areas on the one hand, and little ran of Kachich through the Nal Sarovar on the other. The research supports the dockyard theory and addresses concerns about historical inlets, demonstrating Lothal's importance for trade by river and sea routes, according to a statement by the Press Information Bureau. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? There's Ahmedabad, and there's Koth, and there's Lothal, all on this river route here. And the Gulf of Kambat. It's obviously out here to the ocean. And then you got everything would come down from inland, and you'd be able to take things inland as well via the river. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Now, sorry, I get a little bit engrossed in this stuff because I just love all science and, archaeology, anthropology, you name it, marine biology, astrobiology. I don't care. I just love it all. Now, for their study, the researchers used data from early maps, satellite imagery, and digital elevation models. The 3D models that represent the topography of a planet or celestial body. Now, the study was published in the Journal of Archaeological Science in August. It has been carried out by Ekta Gupta, V.N. Prabhakar, and Vikrant Jain of IITGN, which is, if I remember back up here, where are we? I mentioned it up here a second ago. Ah, yes, the Indian Institute of Technology, Gandha Hinagar. There we go. Got to make sure I get that right for them because they deserve the credit. There we go. All right. Yes, a study was published in the Journal of Archaeological Science, and there's the link there. So check out the link to the main article, and you can pop over and check that out. It's actually an interesting publication. Now, speaking to the Indian Express, Prabhakar said, using the technology, we could find a gradual shifting of the Sabarmati River, where it reached its present-day course. One of these is coinciding with Lothal. So it means when Lothal was there as a Harappan port, definitely this river was flowing at the spot. The Nal Sarovar was in full flow, from which one river came out. So there is a connection from Lothal, as one can directly go to the Nal Sarovar, and from here to the Little Ran, and then on to Dol Avira. If one person travels by boat, he can reach there within 2 days. So this is how the traders might have travelled, transferred goods, because from Lothal we've got the evidence of foreign trade. Now the study suggests that traders came to Gujarat through the Gulf of Kambat, probably went to Ratanpura to get materials and carried them to Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. And there's your links there to the Ministry of Education in India. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. To say, the Indians are very clever people. I was reading a statistic the other day, and if there's any Indians watching this video, they can confirm it for me. But apparently India, after the United States, is the largest English-speaking nation on the planet. And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have multiple languages spoken in India. Is it Hindi and English are the two main languages in India, I believe. Yeah. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I just think it's interesting, and that's why I don't mind dealing with the Indians. I think I'd prefer to deal with the Indians and the Americans sometimes. You know, poor Australians who only really normally just speak the one language. You guys have got it lucky you speak multiple languages. 22 or something, or is it? Yeah, let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, so the spiritual, cultural, and physical descendants of the amazing engineers at Lothal, these guys that created this, the aerospace engineers putting probes on the moon. Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. All right, well, my name is David. Thanks for joining me for another Studio 64 Science, Space and Tech News update. I shall see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're up for it, drop a comment down below the video, because I'd love to hear what you think. All right, take care, and as I always say, if you can't be good at it. And as I also always say,
please, Spock, do me a favor, and don't say it's fascinating. No. But it is interesting.